What up, y'all? Back again. Today, I wanted to talk to you about what makes a narcissist want to discard a great source of supply or a good source of supply. So let's jump in. So what happens is when they meet you, they love bomb you. They learn about you. They're excited because they think that you're going to save their life and make everything better. But then, so you become idolized. You become their idol. And then, they learn about you. They understand you. You get into devalue mode after checking them on something, or just it could be any tic-tac-val that sends you into devalue mode. And then they're out looking to monkey branch to somebody else while they're continuing to devalue you. And so what would make them leave you, because everybody ends up in devalue mode, that's a primary source of supply. It's just, how much you can take. They will do a lot of tests on you, and they test you daily in general because they need to heat check you to see how much you can take and how much you won't take, and when you're preparing to leave them, if they feel like that you're ever going to break up with them. So that's why they continually check you, and they continually push your buttons more and more and more. But they will discard a good source of supply a lot of times because once they have conquered you, they like the chase, and they like a new situation, a new relationship, a fresh one. They like to conquer somebody in a fresh relationship, although it does take a lot of work. So it depends on who they're monkey branching from. If they're coming from a really good source of supply, and they're able to fuel up, and they find a new potential that they want to conquer, then that would be a good situation for them, where they would leave a good source of supply to monkey branch to a new a new source of supply, a very first source of supply that they would want to conquer as a new primary. But they have a default mode where the problem with them is there's nothing consistent. And that's part of their problem. Part of the problem is it doesn't matter what relationship they're in, they get bored. They get bored, and their mind kind of works against them. At some point in time, of course, that we know that they have a track. And the only thing that would adjust that track is if you're the primary source supply and you just had absolutely no boundaries and you let them cheat on you and all that stuff. And so what they will do is once they've conquered you, they kind of have an idea of what you will do because they've been doing this forever. And so they know how it will play out, how needy you will be when you leave or they leave you, what to expect, that you'll probably be thirsty for them. You'll be calling them all the time. They'll probably put you on block. They'll enjoy the negative and the positive supply from you, and the positive supply from love bombing the new source of supply. They get energy from both. That's why you really want to cut them off and accept the discard and try to heal. But when you give them that negative, telling them how much you love them, miss them, and why'd you do that, and you get angry with them, that's all fuel for them. They love that because they feel needed, and they know they can get you back. But when you do nothing is when it kind of starts to scare them after a while, because they're afraid they won't be able to come back to you maybe. So then they start, stalking you, but they're going to stalk you anyway because they want to make sure that you're destroyed. And if you're recovering, they're going to try to come back at some point. But their relationships are all, a lot of their life is inconsistent, but they get bored and they just feel like they have you nailed down. Now you're just this object that's a primary source supply. And then you'll probably start to work harder and harder to keep them. because you want to go back to the love bomb. And if you're unaware, of course, unaware, unawoke, we're talking about, then you're going to get on that hamster wheel and you're going to continue to run harder and faster. And you're going to try to work harder at keeping them because you think it's you, or you think you can change the situation or heal it or help it. Okay. But all you're doing then is you're making yourself more of a simp. I mean, really, like you're then feeding into them breadcrumbing you and being annoyed with you. And so then you're becoming more and more worthless, which would probably make them discard you quicker. But this is kind of what happens. And, but you know, what happens sometimes with them is they get into a new relationship, like they'll monkey branch from you, discard you, and you've built them up from nothing. You've given them a lot of fuel. They're wearing all your traits, and you're kind of doing all the work in the house and supplying all the care and everything. And they're just completely devaluing you and destroying you, projecting on you, unbeknownst to you because you're unawoke. So you're doing like just about, there's nothing more that you could do. I mean, literally, you're like a great individual that has supplied absolutely every need for the narcissist and pampered the hell out of them, and it didn't work. And now they're excited because, you know, they're adrenaline junkies too. So they like to, this gives them adrenaline also. But they're going to jump. They may, a lot of times, you know, it could be somebody with money. You know, it's money or somebody they really, you know, they look for somebody that's got financial assets, and also like if they're, you know, they may be into them for different things, could be sexually, but they could have several things, you know, they could be good looking, they may, you know, be attracted to them sexually, and then also they may be financially set. And so an individual like that will probably be kind of put together, and so they could be different things that the narcissist could fall into a trap with, where they would get their karma or reap what they sow really bad, because they left a great primary source supply who was fueling them wonderfully, which before they met you, you were like, you know, you were like something they were, if you would have asked them before, they would have said, if I find a source supply like that, I'll never let them go. But then, you know, they get bored, and then they may find somebody, you know, because they're always thinking the grass is greener on the other side. So they may find somebody like that, but that somebody may be a player. They may, because, you know, sometimes, not in all cases, but in some cases where people are more put together, they just may, you know, be using the narcissist. So they're put together and they want somebody put together and they're whole. And so they're going to go on a few dates with the narcissist and then discard the narcissist because they're going to start to see red flags and they have too much to lose. Or they're going to be some sort of a player and they're going to be careful knowing that the narcissist is crazy, or not, but they're going to have many people on the line, many women. And if this is a man, it would be many, many, you know, if this is a woman, it would be, you know what I mean? Just if you're a woman out there, just switch it. But anyway, they're going to have many people on the line and you're just one of the people on the line, you know, so being the narcissist. So then the narcissist may go out with them thinking that they can most definitely, you know, conquer them. And then they find out that they're the one that gets discarded, and they may have fallen into the trap because they kind of let everybody fall on the wayside, or destroyed everybody extra hard, to where those individuals may decide to heal instead of giving the narcissist any bit of a chance to come back, which would be something that could occur. And then also they may put everything into this individual because they have so much to win or gain from this individual because they have so much to offer. And so they can focus in on this individual and, you know, be spending their money in different ways, you know, maybe, have moved in with them for a short time and then find out that they are out of house and home. And so these are things where a narcissist that is not, is not financially set would get themselves sometimes in a predicament. They could get, there's times where, they can get pregnant and, or they can get somebody pregnant, depending on who I'm talking about. And so when you ask about where they would reap what they sow, and sometimes these are the situations, but a lot of times when you're the primary source of supply, they don't really, you have no value to them regardless. I mean, they want to keep you, but they don't value anybody outside of an object. I mean, they do when they don't have that fuel, they do miss the situation that they had with you. They, sometimes if you are that good source, and when they don't have it, they miss it or want it to a sense or sort of degree. But when they get used to you over several months, then they take you for granted. I mean, and this could happen in a regular relationship too. So you want to beware. This could be just natural that we want to beware and, kind of, somebody once said that you should always pursue your love partner. If you love them, you got to cultivate always wanting to know more about them and how you can keep it new and fresh. Because when you get outside of those few things, you start to, kind of to some degree give up, or you're just like in the motions. So this is the kind of thing that would, they take you for granted, and it doesn't matter how much you will offer things to them. They just expect it. After they've conquered you, they just expect, well, that's what you're supposed to do. So when you try harder and harder and you're breaking your butt to make their life more plush, to make more money, to give them more things, to supply more of their needs, to make everything pampered for them, thinking that will keep them with you or bring you back into a love bomb phase, you just got to forget it. The thing is they're opposite of you. So when you love them, they hate you. When you hate them, or I shouldn't say hate, but when you disengage with them and you don't want them, that's when they love you to death. And then when you give them your all, then they feel like they've conquered you, and they cheat on you, mistreat you, and devalue and discard you. And then when you recover, because they've destroyed you, then they can't wait to get back in, because if they see you with somebody else, or that you have a potential somebody, or that, they know that you're looking so good, you're going to find somebody real soon. Well, they can't have that either, because they have to enjoy you and the fruits of your labor again. And so this is why they stalk. They stalk because if you're destroyed, it gives them fuel and makes them feel great because they're above you and they took you down, and they should feel happier than you because you look terrible. So that makes them feel more valued. If you're above them when they stalk you, well, and you're fueled up and you're looking good and you're shining, and you're doing your thing and doing new things and having fun again, or dating somebody else, then they're going to want to come in there, put a wedge between you two, and then get back in with you so that they can enjoy the fruits of your labor again, but only for a short time, because there's nothing that is consistent with the narcissist. That's why I always say they're rogue. They're like Satan, because Satan was rogue in heaven. He was the rogue angel. And it's nothing worse than being with somebody who's rogue, because when they're rogue, that means they're a rogue is kind of like a rogue soldier would be somebody you don't know what to expect. They ran off from the platoon, and you don't know if they're gonna hang out with the enemy, blow up the enemy, blow you up, give the enemy your coordinates. They're gonna turn and shoot you. I mean, this is what rogue is. Rogue is you never know what to expect, and it's going to be something against you at some point. they're not for you. There's no trust and there's no loyalty. And until you have loyalty, you can never be together in royalty. So if you could give me a like, a thumbs up, and a subscription. Love y'all. Peace. And until next time, soldier up, y'all. Peace. We out.